Dear students, I am Dr. Timmegowda N.R., Department of Chemistry, Government SKSJ Technological Institute, KR Circle, Bangalore. In this video lecture, I am going to explain the continuation of Engineering Chemistry Module 2, Corrosion and Metal Finishing. In my previous session 5, I explained about introduction, definition, and technological importance of metal finishing and the principles governing metal finishing such as decomposition potential, over voltage, and polarization. In session 6, I am going to explain introduction to electroplating and electroplating of chromium, which includes both hard chromium plating as well as decorative chromium plating, and finally the applications of chromium plating. So here the electroplating was invented by an Italian chemist, Luigi Brunatelli, in the year 1805. He performed electro deposition of gold using the voltaic pile, which was discovered by his colleague Alessandro Volta in the year 1800. So what is electroplating? If you look at this picture, here they are coating gold on the surface of other substrate. That substrate, maybe it's a metal, or it may be alloy, or it may be any other conducting material. So what they are doing, they are depositing or coating the gold on the surface of other substrate. How? Here they used gold as an anode by connecting it to positive terminal of the battery, and the substrate, it is connected to negative terminal of the battery, and this substrate working as cathode, and there is a electrolyte solution here, and if we apply suitable voltage, then the redox reaction will occur, oxidation reaction occur at anode, and here metal ions will release into the solution. Here gold, if it's a gold, then it's a gold ion, and the electrons are available at the surface of substrate, and that metal ions will move towards cathode and get reduced on the surface of cathode. So reduction reaction occur at the surface of the substrate. So metal is depositing on the surface of the substrate. And also you can see another example. So overall, the definition of electroplating is the process of deposition of metal over the surface of another metal or alloy or any other conducting material by the process of electrolysis. So electrolysis is nothing but decomposition of electrolyte with the help of electricity. Electroplating can be carried out either on single metals or alloys or any other conducting materials. So let's see what are the principal components required to conduct electroplating process. So here main requirements are the battery, electrolyte solution which contains suitable metal ions, and cathode, that is always substrate, and anode. The important components: battery, electrolyte solution, cathode, anode. Let's check. Here it is an anode. It may be made up of metal being plated. It may be made up of the metal being plated, or sometimes if any difficulties, if we use anode as the metal being plated, then we can use some other inert metals or alloys. So always the anode may be made up of metal being plated. That is nothing but which metal we are going to deposit on substrate. The anode may be made up of the metal we are going to deposit on the surface, or if any difficulties, in such conditions, we can use either inert metals or alloys as an anode. And cathode, so it is always a substrate on which we are going to deposit other metals. That may be substrate, may be metal, or maybe alloy, or maybe conducting material, but not non-conductors. And other important components, electrolyte solution. So electrolyte solution, it contains metal ions. It contains suitable metal ions that we are going to deposit on the substrate. And another very important component is battery. So here the anode, that is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and cathode, it is connected to negative terminal of the battery. So after all these connections, then if we apply suitable voltage that is required for continuous electrolysis, then oxidation reaction occur at anodic metal and reduction reaction occur at substrate. So due to this redox reaction, the deposition of the metal layer we can obtain, because here the anode may release metal ions, or sometimes the metal salt solution will provide the required concentration of metal ions we are going to deposit, and the electrons are available at the substrate surface because we are connected to negative terminal here. That metal ions will gain that electrons available at the surface and becomes neutral metal and deposited on the surface of the substrate. So in this way, we can conduct electroplating process using battery, electrolyte solution, cathode, and anodic materials. So next, let's discuss electroplating of chromium. The first question, why chromium is an important metal used for electroplating? Because the chromium is extremely resistant to corrosion. The chromium metal has bright appearance, like shiny silver-like appearance. Hence, the chromed layer or coated layer gives decorative appearance property, corrosion resistance property, and ease of cleaning procedure, easy to clean the surface, and it will gives increased surface hardness. So because of all these properties, chromium is suitable metal for electroplating. So if we come to experimental part, that is electroplating of chromium, here So step one is before going to plate the substrate material, the metal or alloy or any other conducting material we are going to coat, that must be free from impurities on the surface, on its surface. So to remove that impurities, the first step is cleaning step, that is surface cleaning. So how to do that? By dipping in organic solvents to remove any oil or grease materials present on the surface of the substrate. And again, it is ensured by cleaning with alkali solution, and then that substrate is cleaned by using dilute acids to remove if any inorganic oxides present on the surface of the substrate. That process is called pickling. And then finally, it is rinsed with distilled water, and then it's dried out. So these are the steps involved. The cleaning. The first, the substrate is it is washed with organic solvents, and then it is alkali solution to remove any oil or grease materials on the surface of the substrate, and then it is washed in using dilute acids to clean if any inorganic oxides or any inorganic impurities present on the surface of the substrate. Afterwards, it is rinsed with distilled water to remove any residual acids if present on the surface, and then finally it's dried. So now the surface is ready. It's because it's clean now, so we can go ahead for plating. So here the decorative chromium plating. So the name indicates this plating is to get some good appearance. Good appearance. So how to conduct this decorative chromium plating? So as we discussed in previous slide, the main requirement is the battery, anodic material, cathodic material, electrolyte, solutions. So here the substrate on which we are going to plate chromium, it is connected to negative terminal of the battery, hence it working as cathode. And here the lead antimony alloy or lead tin alloy, which is coated with lead oxide, it is connected to positive terminal of the battery, hence it works as anode. But here we are not going to use chromium metal as an anode. I will tell you the reason for that. And here the plating bath composition, the solution, it consists of chromic acid and sulfuric acid in the ratio 100:1 per liter of solution, and 1 gram of trivalent chromium, that is nothing but chromium 3 plus ions, which is produced in the bath itself in situ by adding oxalic acid. The plating bath consists of chromic acid, sulfuric acid, the weight ratio 100:1 per liter of solution, and 1 grams of chromium 3 plus ions produced inside the bath by adding 4 grams of oxalic acid. So why the trivalent chromium is required? Because initially the chromium 6 ions will come out, but for initial deposition, chromium 3 plus ions are required, hence they will generate inside the plating bath solution at the beginning. So other important things are the current density required for chromium, decorative chromium plating is 145 to 430 amps per square feet. That is nothing but current per unit area of cross section, current density. So after all these conditions maintained, then the oxidation reaction occur at anodic region. That is, here oxygen will evolve at anodic region. So because it's not chromium, hence chromium ions will not release into the solution. And simultaneously, here you can see the reactions occur in the bath at cathodic region. The chromic acid taken in the plating bath will convert into dichromic acid, and then that dichromic acid will convert it into dichromate ions. Here the valency of chromium is +6, and again that chromate ion in acidic condition, by gaining that available electrons, it will reduce to chromium 3+ ions. After this availability of chromium 3+, finally that chromium 3+ ions will gain that electrons and it becomes neutral chromium and deposit on the surface of the substrate. So here the final reaction at the surface of the substrate, reduction reaction at the surface of the substrate, is chromium 3+ ion will react with 3 electrons and it become chromium and it will deposit on the surface. So the temperature should be maintained for this process is about 45 degree to 55 degree Celsius. And finally, the required thickness is about 0.25 micrometer to 0.75 micrometer. So it is this process, it is done on either copper nickel or nickel and coat. That means the substrate is first coated with either copper nickel alloy or nickel alloy, and afterwards we should conduct this electroplating process to deposit this chromium. So this is very small layer of chromium we are depositing to get some decorative appearance on the substrate. So now the question is why the chromium anode is not preferred. Instead of that, we used some alloy as anodic material here. Because if we use chromium as an anode, then that will release some chromium 3+ ions at the beginning very rapidly, and that will enhance the number of chromium ions that may give some black deposit on the surface of the substrate due to excess number of chromium ions. So another reason, after some time, that chromium becomes passive. So that may stop releasing chromium ions, so that we cannot get a uniform layer of chromium deposition. Due to these reasons, instead of chromium, the preferred anodic material is lead antimony or lead tin alloy. So another thing is, you can observe here, which is coated with lead oxide. What is the reason for that? Here, the chromium 3+ ions, if excess number of chromium 3+ ions available in the plating bath, then also we cannot get suitable uniform deposition. So how to maintain that you required concentration of chromium 3 plus ions? For that reason, some number of chromium 3 plus ions will be oxidized by lead oxide, and it will oxidize that chromium 3 plus to chromium 6 plus, so that we can minimize the concentration of chromium 3 plus ion in the bath. So that chromium 6 plus will reduce to chromium 3 plus later, so that we can balance the chromium 3 plus ion concentration to get good deposition or uniform layer of chromium plating. So in this way, and another important thing, current efficiency is 10 to 15 amps per square feet. So that means it is the ratio of the amount of metal, the practically amount of metal deposited on the surface of the substrate to the amount to be amount calculated by using Faraday's laws. So that is the it is a ratio. It is practically deposited metal divided by theoretically calculated amount of metal. So that is the current efficiency. It is 10 to 15 amps per square feet. So in this way, we can conduct decorative chromium plating. So let's check the applications of decorative chromium plating. So you can see here, the chromium plating is used on tap, kitchen stove, car grill, wheel rims, and bicycle handle, bicycle bell, and also you can see automobile, that is on car, as well as bicycles here we have seen here, and some medical devices, surgical instruments, and various other things. So decorative chromium plating produces an attractive corrosion resistance, wear resistance, and abrasion resistant surface. Hence, chromium coating used in automobiles, household fittings, and surgical and dental instruments, and also various other applications. We can get it from chromium plating. So other one is hard chromium plating. It is almost similar procedure we must apply here. The hard chromium, so the difference is in decorative chromium plating, the thickness is very small. The hard chromium is, that indicates the thickness is more. It is like 2.5 micrometer to 300, around 300 micrometer thickness. So here another difference is, here no need to do that coating of either nickel or any alloys. Directly we can coat the chromium on the surface of the substrate. The thickness is about 2.5 micrometer to 300 micrometer. For that hard chromium plating, as already discussed, we must use the same anodic material, that is lead antimony or lead tin alloy, which is coated with lead oxide. It is an anode. It is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and the metal to be plated, metal or alloy or any other conducting material to be plated, it is connected to negative terminal of the battery, and hence it is working as cathode here. And the plating bath composition is chromic acid, sulfuric acid. The weight ratio is 100:1 per liter of the solution, and 1 gram of trivalent chromium, which is produced in situ by adding 4 grams of oxalic acid. And the temperature should be maintained like 45 degrees to 55 degrees Celsius. The time it will vary. The electroplating process may conduct for much more time here, because we need to get more thickness here. And after all this connection, after applying suitable external voltage or current density that is required for electrolysis process, then as I mentioned, oxidation reaction occur at anodic metal. It is not chromium, hence chromium ions will not come out here, but the chromium ions will generate inside the plating bath. And first, that is chromium 6 plus ions, and then finally that chromium 6 plus ion reduced to chromium 3 plus ion following these steps. That is chromic acid converted into dichromic acid, and then it converted into dichromate. It is chromium 6 plus ions here, and then again it is reduced to chromium 3 plus ion, and that chromium 3 plus ion will get reduced on the surface of the substrate by gaining these electrons and becomes a chromium, and we'll get the layer of chromium on the surface of the substrate. So I already explained why we are not preferred chromium metal, because it may give large number of chromium 3 plus ions that may give black deposit, and afterwards it may become passive, then it may reduce the chromium 3 plus ion. So we will not prefer that. And here the difference is, one is thickness and other one is current density, that is around 290 to 580 amps per square feet current density, and current efficiency, it's about 12 to 21 amps per square feet. This is little more than decorative chromium plating. So in this condition, we can conduct hard chromium plating. Let's check the applications of decorative chromium plating. So hard chromium plating. So hard chromium plating, which produces an corrosion resistance, wear resistant, and abrasion resistant surface. Hence, it is used in cutting tools, piston rings, cylinder valves, cylinder linings, and bearings. In all these applications, this hard chromium they will use. The black chromium coatings are also used on optical instrument, machine tools, electronic ports, and solar energy collectors. So these are some of the applications of hard chromium plating. So these are some of the reference, you can go through it. And let's go through some of the multiple choice questions under this session. Question number 1, components required for electroplating. Option A, cathode and anode. Option B, electrolyte. Option C, suitable DC source. Option D, all the above. We know that the components required are cathode, anode, electrolyte, suitable DC source. So right answer is option D, all the above. Question number 2, chromium is not used as anode in electroplating of chromium because option A gives black deposit. Option B, increase the concentration of chromium 3 plus ion in solution. Option C, becomes passive. Option D, all the above. If we use chromium as an anode, we can observe all these concepts here. It may give black deposit, increase the concentration of chromium 3 plus ions in solution, and also it becomes passive. Right answer is D, of all the above. Question number 3, the suitable anode for electroplating of chromium is option A, lead antimony. Option B, chromium. Option C, copper. Option D, zinc. So as we discussed, the suitable anode for electroplating of chromium is lead antimony. Right answer is option A. Question number 4, the material used as cathode for electroplating of chromium is option A, lead tin alloy. Option B, chromium. Option C, article to be coated. Option D, zinc. So always the material used as cathode will be article to be coated. Right answer is option C. Question number 5, the source of chromium in electroplating of chromium is it is chromic acid, sulfuric acid, oxalic acid, lead oxide. We know that the source is chromic acid. The right answer is option A. I will stop this session here and I will continue the remaining syllabus in next session. Thank you.